Is your head spinning yet? Mine is. Stay tuned to the end of this video as we show how the cabal is literally willing to start World War III in order to cover up their massive crimes and maintain power. And keep in mind, you are being tracked, according to Q. And with that in mind, this video is brought to you by our friends at Virtual Shield VPN. Protect your information, location, and search history from the prying eyes of Big Brother and big data internet providers without slowing your internet speed. And definitely check out IdentiSafe, a great Virtual Shield feature that includes a microphone and webcam blocker that also automatically deletes browser data, cookies, and can even shred files so that they're unrecoverable. Use the link below to take an extra 30% off your first term. So visit virtualshield.com by using the link below and give yourself the gift of internet security. So the FBI has raided the office of President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, in Rockefeller Center in New York City. The FBI also searched his home and hotel room. At the crux of this brazen raid by the FBI, seizure of documents, including emails, tax documents, and other records related to Cohen's $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels, a story that literally no one cares about. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation enjoy no raids by the FBI.
Why didn't the FBI raid the Clinton Foundation offices? Right?
I can't tell you the answer to that,
but it
I don't know.
It seems like the Mueller probe has been criticized for looking like a fishing expedition. We know, when I read through the language of it, his remit, it is wide. So to have Robert Mueller connected to this, Stormy Daniels, I mean, it seems a bit of a stretch.
And the deep state attack on Trump accelerates. Michael Cohen's own lawyer says the FBI seized privileged communications between Cohen and his clients, a group that includes Trump. According to the Wall Street Journal, the search was executed by the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, which is carrying out an independent investigation in coordination with Robert Mueller. Ask yourself, how is this constitutional? The president is not allowed to have private, privileged communications with his own attorney? Former Judge Andrew Napolitano says Mueller's probe appears to have no limit, adding, "You're talking about the most confidential and protected relationship there is, lawyer and client. The federal government has just invaded that with the express authority and approval of a federal judge."
When the Supreme Court construed the constitutionality of special counsels, which was upheld, Justice Scalia dissented for this reason, saying there will be no limit to where they go. They're unrecognized in the Constitution. They're unanswerable. They'll just keep indicting people to justify their own existence.
Exasperated, President Trump is calling the raid disgraceful, describing the special counsel's team as, quote, "the most conflicted group of people I've ever met."
It's an attack on our country in a true sense. It's an attack on what we all stand for. This is a pure and simple witch hunt.
According to Zero Hedge, Trump also exclaimed that no one is looking at the other side, referring to Clinton's 30,000 missing emails. Now, on the wishful thinking side of things, I read an amusing tweet from Grody Observant, who posited the following: "Wonder if Trump gave a copy of the Hillary Rodham Clinton video, pedophile videos found on Weiner's laptop, the tarmac meeting, etc., to his lawyer Cohen, because if he did, now Mueller has to enter all of that as evidence and play it for the jury. LOL. That would be epic. Making Mueller make it evidence." Now, I like to see our cup as half full, but given the corrupt-filled history and nature of Robert Mueller, it's highly unlikely this shadow government actor is working with the president to take down the Clintons, although Q has suggested it. But as Jerome Corsi explained in our recent interview, Mueller is likely no white knight.
Mueller has been an operative in D.C. for decades. He was a Clinton fixer. He was back even to the Mark Rich pardon and helping to cover that up. He's played roles in the HSBC money laundering scandal, covering it up, making sure no one went to prison. And he covered up the uranium bribery scheme where Russians were found to be involved in bribery, the uranium industry in the United States, before the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States voted to allow Russia to acquire 100% of Uranium One. Had that been disclosed by Mueller, as it should have been, to the CFIUS committee, I'm not sure that Russia would have been allowed to buy uranium-1. Hillary got $179 million to her foundation when that deal went through. And Mueller's got a net worth of $18 million on a government salary. I wonder how many board positions and the like Hillary and the others provided him to pay him off. Mueller went on a secret trip for Hillary to Russia when she was Secretary of State, delivering uranium. We still don't know what that trip was about. It was disclosed in the WikiLeaks drop of the Podesta emails. These are the kinds of things that I think make me believe that Mueller's basically just an operative who's a hack.
In other news, yet another likely false flag attack by white helmets in Syria are reigniting serious tensions between the U.S. and Russia in the region. The pro-rebel white helmets claimed over the weekend that Syria's Assad has once again gassed his own citizens, and Trump has threatened retaliation. Now, for those who need a refresher, these are what the white helmets were up to during the last alleged Assad attack. And of course, you'll never see that video reported on at CNN. Q has posted Trust POTUS, as well as this collage of photos of fed-up military patriots who, quote, didn't join to fight for al-Qaeda in a Syrian civil war, with many noting, I joined to serve and defend the Constitution. Stay out of Syria. And Julian Assange, no fool for the White Hat's propaganda, has issued a $100,000 reward for confidential official information, intercepts, or reports showing who is responsible for the alleged chemical attack in Syria. Note to Anons, you may want to find the back door to John McCain's computer, a man Q has consistently referred to as traitor. Your WikiLeaks cash prize awaits. That's the seditious senator with Moaz Mustafa, a man Q relates to the Awans, and of course the Awans enjoyed a chummy relationship with uber criminal Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Moaz Mustafa works for the Syrian Emergency Task Force, a lobbying group that advocates for the armed overthrow of the government of Syria. And neonrevolt.com asks, is McCain connected to that group in any way other than the photographs? As a matter of fact, Elizabeth Bailey Obagi, a former senior analyst at the Institute for the Study of War, who was terminated for job fraud.
I travel with groups where we actually can kind of identify the more extremist checkpoints.
Elizabeth Obagi.
Her career at the Institute as a Syria researcher in 2013 contributed an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal that was cited by U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and Senator John McCain during a U.S. Senate hearing to support possible U.S. military intervention into the Syrian civil war.
There is a real moderate opposition that exists.
The op-ed was cited just days later by Senator John McCain and Secretary of State John Kerry, as Kerry testified before Congress.
Dr. Elizabeth Obagi.
You can read the rest, of course, for yourself at neonrevolt.com, who writes, so let's get this straight. The gal forges a bunch of stuff in the Wall Street article of hers. It's then cited by McCain and Kerry in order to try and rope us into deploying troops and resources in Syria and getting us mired in another war. It comes out that the gal lied, and McCain snatches her up for his team immediately. How much do you want to bet McCain had her write that article in the first place? McCain has a direct connection with this group. In fact, you could say he sought out a direct connection with this group. But Q asks us to dig, and dig we did. I'll skip down. Q wrote, why did Hussein protect ISIS? POTUS, ISIS, focus and destroy 1 year versus Hussein's 8 years versus George W. Bush, DC access, sold out, bring back the gallows. Do you understand what Q is insinuating here? Anons believe Q is saying that ISIS had access to the White House. Think back to Q Post 570 Special Access Program sell-off and the 16-year plan to destroy America. They never thought she would lose. Pure evil. And neonrevolt.com notes, we're gonna need a bigger gallows. And as for Trump's tweets about retaliating against Syria, according to Jack Posobiec, two separate people have confirmed the president did not write the tweets on Assad in Syria. Amid all the outrage at Assad for, quote, gassing his own people and demands for the U.S. to step in and start World War III, it's come out that Trump didn't even write those tweets. But of course, the pro-Zionist faction in Israel is eager for the U.S. to enter into a shooting war with Russia over Syria. From the Jerusalem Post, Israel officials, U.S. must strike in Syria. Assad is the angel of death, and the world would be better without him. And in addition to Syria, Israel is now bombing Hamas targets in northern Gaza. And this post from Anonymous sums it all up nicely. This is a genius move by the deep state pedos. They must start World War III to cover up their crimes. They haven't had any luck getting POTUS to fall for one of their false flags. They decide to just have Israel start a war with Russia in Syria. This will force POTUS to side with Israel or side with the Russians. And neonrevolt.com notes the cabal is literally willing to start World War III in order to cover up their crimes and maintain power. It's an exciting time to be alive, but the enemies who wish us dead have still not been flushed from power. Pray that they soon will be. Thanks for watching, and for real news 24/7, visit us at sgtreport.com, thephaser.com, and thelibertymill.com. God bless.
These New World Order Satanists who want to drive the United States Constitution into the ground to destroy it. Hillary Clinton and Obama were planning a 16-year coup d'etat to do that.